Hello and welcome back. Welcome back. I think we're on episode 4 now, Grumpy Granny.
We are. Isn't that amazing?
I don't think I was going to last you that long. I don't think I could put up with you, but here we are. Here we are indeed.
Exactly. Well, maybe I'm just an AI creation for all you
that's
know.
right. Well, that's exactly right. Little do people know we're actually taking this week off. This is completely AI generated.
Exactly. It is. Yes.
So see, the AI is quite impressive. Yeah, they've made a good-looking octopus and a not so good-looking grandma.
Oh, that's enough of that. That is enough of that.
Hey, you can't control the computer.
What, pray tell, in the world is that on your head?
Well, a lot of old people, believe it or not, think that AI is going to overtake the world and read your mind. So I'm getting ahead of the curve now and wearing my tinfoil hat.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's quite fashionable. It's quite fashionable.
Fashionable in octopus circuses. Circuses. Circles, I should say.
Oh, circles, circuses. There we go. They can read my mind now. That's right.
Yes.
That lasted the whole of 30 seconds.
Am I getting something? Oh, yes. I think I know what
you're
you're
getting dementia, that's it. You're getting dementia.
Could be. Could well be, yes.
No, looks like just the alien. I was going to say, it looks like the aliens will have to read my mind now because I'm not putting it back on. The dog's going to try and steal my tin. Yeah, can't take him anywhere.
Yeah,
he's patrolling the Optolair.
Yes, he's very cute. Yes.
Yeah, can't take him anywhere. He doesn't know where he's going.
He wants to be a social media star.
Yeah, well, that could be it. He could be wanting to try and overthrow me like he did last week. He looked at me. He looked at me the wrong way, and I decided to give him a bath, and I was a bit in a mutiny after that.
Oh, poor dog. Yes.
Well, he was long overdue. He hadn't had a bath for a fortnight, and he was a bit on the nose.
Bit stinky.
Yeah. So, what's been happening?
Well, it's been a busy week again. I've got my daughter and my grandson visiting with me at the moment, and they're not here right now because I kicked him out of the house while we did this. But so that's nice. But it sort of means I've got people that I have to look after. Ooh.
No, okay, so. So it's a difference of them looking after you, I suppose. Yeah, the burden's on you opposed to the burden being on them for once.
That's right, because I normally go and visit them. And it's much better because, but when they're in my house, I have to play hostess.
Yes.
Make cups of tea and all that sort of stuff. You've muted yourself. What are you doing? Shall I sing the Balls of O'Leary while you're
you
on
could
mute?
do. Yeah, it could be. I'm back now. I think I've had to move my microphone, so
right. That's what I meant to ask you. Have you got it close enough this week?
I do indeed, actually. I've just moved it again because I just realised that it wasn't, close enough to where I was.
That's
so.
Good.
Hopefully, I'm coming through loud and clear this time. Yes. So what we're going to talk about today is actually. What we call it, a generative AI, or what a lot of people call ChatGPT and AI Imagery. So that's our topic of the week. So without going too much into it, what's your initial thoughts on it?
Oh, it's a bit of a worry, really. I mean, I guess because I'm in that older generation, you sort of think that it might be going to take over the world and, what will come of us?
No, because I was wearing my tinfoil hat, but obviously I don't feel that way anymore. Because I'm all about the AI. And I think and I think that AI is probably here to stay. Like I said, we'll get into a bit further later on, but I definitely think that you probably want to be on the front foot with this kind of thing coming through, and just making sure that you know how to use it and how to benefit your business and go from that way.
Yeah, you're probably right. It is going to be here to stay, and I guess it's just a bit scary to think of some. Well, I mean, it's already embedded in a lot of things that you use. So, for me, it's just a little bit scary as to how far it's going to go.
Well, that's right. But, it is what it is, I suppose. There's no use worrying about things you can't change.
That's true.
Cool.
That is very true.
I suppose before we get into the nuts and bolts of AI and how it's going to take over the world, and no doubt, Judgment Day like Terminator 2. I think we better do a bit of introduction. So on my left or on my right, I haven't never worked this out, is Grumpy Granny. So she's from, what's your YouTube channel again? Grumpy Granny Thriss?
Yeah, Grumpy Granny Flipper.
Flipper, that's right. Yeah, one day I'll learn it. Yeah. You'll think one day that I'll actually work out what's going on. So she currently pumps out a couple of YouTube videos a year with her current trajectory.
I put out 2 this week. Thank you very much.
Did you? I'll have to go check them out.
You will.
No,
actually, I put more out because I did 2 videos and I've done 2 shorts as well.
No, look at that. Yeah, I suppose you're speeding up in your old age.
Well, I'm trying to get with the times, you know.
That's right. Yeah, you obviously try to speed things up, but you're not too happy about AI by the looks of it.
It's a bit like when my grandson goes, ooh, because something scary is happening.
Well, that's exactly right. Like, it's just something that's not. It's a bit different, and everyone's got to get used to it. And like we were discussing previously, is that eBay was new at one stage, and look at what's come. So. Yeah, from that.
Well, like I've been through not having mobile phones, and then all of a sudden there were mobile phones, and there was all sorts of talk about holding the phone up to your ear and what that would do to you, and it's
But you were around before toilet paper was invented as well, I heard.
Not quite that old.
No,
I'm old, but I'm not quite that old.
Not the stone and chisel kind of person.
No, we have had toilet paper. I did used to ride the horse to school though. Milk the cow.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't it that the fact that 100 years ago that only rich people had cars and owned horses, now it's the other way around?
Well, true. Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's a good point.
And I suppose I better introduce myself, as if not anyone knows who I am. I'm quite a popular octopus, the world's only reselling octopus. In fact, the Disgruntled Octopus. Yeah, hopefully, if you're here, you know what my channel is, because I've got otherwise. That's who I am, and I do weekly YouTube videos in the format of a podcast or a vlog, as a lot of you cool kids like to say. I host it with Grumpy Granny, and we talk about a vast range of topics that. Whatever floats our boat, or it's a last-minute addition because we can't work out what we're going to talk about for the week. As we move along, so make sure that you check out Grumpy Granny's channel, sign up to that, like, subscribe, and dislike all her videos for me. That'd be fantastic.
Hey. I'll start disliking yours.
I know someone is. I think I have an arch nemesis out there.
Do you?
Yeah.
So what's the go with that? If you got is like the algorithm of how popular your video is. Is it just as popular if it's unpopular, or if they like it or don't like it?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be topping the most disliked videos on YouTube any minute now with my one nemesis.
Well, that's a third of your subscribers. 1 out of 3.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Only 2 likes, and I'm the other 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there, but that's all right. Obviously, we've annoyed someone, which is most likely a ponderous pufferfish. But it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. So moving on to the back of our last week's video, which was phenomenal. It was really well received. A lot of people enjoyed it. Thanks again to John the reseller that was able to spend his time with us. Still in the dungeon somewhere. One day we'll perhaps let him out again.
Well, I'm sure that the boys and girls could all actually see that it was a surprise for me, because my reaction was quite true.
That's right. Yeah. So, like I said previously, is the octopus has got another couple of hostages lined up. It's a matter of just kidnapping them off the street with a white van. So they'll be coming up in the coming weeks. So we're not going to run a guest every week. We might have a special guest appearance by a couple of the other resellers in the community that pop in and pop out throughout the shows, but they'll be as an ad hoc basis. So if they pop in, they pop in. If they pop in, they don't pop in, vice versa.
Well, but we do like to keep a bit of a surprise for everyone.
Well, that's
too.
right. That's exactly right.
Whether there's a guest or whether there's not, or Yeah.
So, but if we do have I suppose a headline hostage per se, we'll actually advertise in advance. So
yes,
yeah. So it's really hard to get away from the police kidnapping people off the streets. So
yes, everyone, watch out for white vans and run when you see one.
That's right. Or ice cream fans, keep away from them as well. Just
Yes, I actually always equate that music from an ice cream van to a horror movie now.
Yeah, it's always something that I suppose that I wouldn't want to be walking down a lonely street with an ice cream man rolling up behind me.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
But putting that out there though, if you'd like to appear on the show, reach out to me directly through Instagram or leave a comment down below. And we like to keep it completely hidden from Grumpy Granny. So if you do leave a comment below, you'll be lucky because she's illiterate, so she can't read. So just do that, and we'll get in touch. And obviously, I'll if you're deemed worthy enough, I'll send the white van around to come pick you up.
Yeah, I believe there's a bit of a vetting process, is there?
Oh, not really. We just take who we can get. The octopus is not picky. But that also extends to our international community as well. So basically, if there is anyone out there, the white van can traverse water and traverse. By all means, reach out to me, and we're more than happy to have you on the show.
Yes, because the Disgruntled Octopus can travel through time and space.
Well, that's right. That's right. The Bermuda Triangle works out quite well in that respect.
It does.
So we're doing a couple of shout outs now to a couple of people that shared the video and gave us a bit of a plug on their channel. So we've got that Dastly Blake, The Life of a Reseller. I don't know if you've heard of him before, Granny.
I have. I do. Yes, I watch Life of a Reseller videos. Hello, Blake. Like to see all your little content you put out.
A bit of a serial pest by the looks of it. Constantly harassing us. I don't know what it is. I think he'd be more palatable if he had a shave. He looks like abysmal facial hair.
He has had a shave. Oh, well, yes, he's still got the moustache, but he has, he's now got really short hair and, all the rest.
Yeah, he should leave his moustache back in the 70s, I think.
Maybe that's what he's going for.
Oh, there could be. That's right. Well, if you hear some ice cream music in the background, look out.
Yep. Well, yes.
That's right. We can't take these people anywhere. So then we've also got James, Bold Finds UK. So basically, James is a UK reseller. He's currently putting himself through a lot of mental anguish, doing a 24-hour live. Obviously, it'll be finished by the time of this, unless he just know how to count and he's still going 4 or 5 days later. So thanks for the shout out, James. Granny and I were very happy to pop on your listing challenge through the night. Well, I don't think we were welcomed, or I don't think we were invited, but hey.
But we just jumped in anyway. Look, I actually did go back and visit again this morning, our time, 10 o'clock our time, so it was 1 o'clock their time, 1 a.m., I should say. And let me tell you, they were looking pretty ordinary by then, so they were doing it tough.
Well, I put the leash on John the Reseller, and we went in there a bit earlier before we started recording this. And I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, so 3 a.m. UK time when we popped in there. And I think he's going to start telling his friends that an octopus appeared on his live. So I think they're going to probably think he's hallucinating.
They will, definitely, yes.
That's right.
And
so
an octopus and Mr. T with John's
that's
haircut.
Right. Well, that's right. That's exactly right. So it's a bit crazy. Maybe we gave him that haircut in the dungeon. We just thought we'd give him a bit of a mix up. He looked too prim and proper, so we gave him a bit of a zhuzh up, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
So we've also got John the Reseller. For some reason, he keeps advertising his channel through us. Obviously he was a nobody before he came on here. We'll just try to make him.
We have skyrocketed his social media presence.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that. I think that we've probably helped him more than he's helped us. I think we scraped off 30 subscribers off the back of him. No doubt he's probably got 50,000 off us.
Oh yes. Oh, yes.
Well, hopefully the ponderous puff of his moves onto his channel as well and starts disliking his content as well. And a bit of content.
Perhaps he will. Yes.
Well, that's right, maybe. So then we've also got this CL Furlong. I don't know much about this guy. So he gave us a bit of a
yes, young Chris. Night. Well, that was a bit of a funny situation actually, because he was doing his live stream, but it was coming through to me, and it was sounded like he was underwater. And I quite often have a bit of a joke with Chris when he says, is everything working right at the start of the live? And I'll say, no, I can't hear you. And he doesn't know whether I'm serious or not, because one week we couldn't hear him. And so I'm saying, no, you sound like you're underwater. And so he thought I was only saying that so I could get an advert for the podcast, underwater, the octopus. But I'd actually been twiddling with my audio settings on my computer. So it was all my fault.
This is what happens when they up the meds in the nursing home. You start fiddling with things you shouldn't be fiddling with.
Well, yeah, old people should stay away from technology, probably.
Well, the amount of times that I've tried to FaceTime, Grandpa Octopus and Grandma Octopus, and they've had their tentacles too close to the computer. I don't know what's going on. So I agree with that. So no technology for old people.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've also got our international viewership. So we've actually had a few international people come in, especially from the US. One of our new esteemed brethren, or our lovable minions, has come from Washington. So like I said to her, I'll have to go out there one day and visit her, because the Pacific Northwest tree octopuses are out there.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so there's a species of
they live in trees.
They do indeed. Yeah, they do.
How does that work? Yes. Where they need to be underwater?
Well, they got tentacles and climb up it. Obviously, it's not rocket science. Yeah, so they're endangered.
Be nice.
They're endangered. So quite a lot. There's only one. They're kind of like me, one of a kind.
Okay, are they very big, or are they little?
Big as they need to be, I suppose.
Great answer. Okay, moving on.
That's right. So basically, in UK, we got some UK followers as well. So that we had some subscribers, and we apparently Grumpy Granny met someone that watched our show and obviously was very, very confused, because they said it was humorous. So I don't think that's the word I would describe to our show, but.
Well, I like to think we give people a bit of a smile on their faces, really.
Yeah, well, I like to refer to our podcast as the fourth best reselling content in Australia, or the fourth best reselling podcast in Australia out of two podcasts that are currently here at the moment. So we're well and truly living up to our name of the worst reselling podcast ever. Yeah,
we are. Yeah, well, we try hard to.
Yeah, we are tryhards. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, I try hard not to, just bang my head against the wall, going, "How am I going to put it with Granny for another hour?"
But hey, that's enough.
Oh, jeez, I'm
going to get my pitchfork out in a minute.
I never get chased out of villages with pitchforks and torches.
Well, you might soon.
So what I think, obviously we've got a lot more shout outs to do, but Granny didn't write them down, so apologies in advance that if we didn't get to you, I'll blame her. I did my thing.
You blame me for everything.
I did my thing. I put the little ticker on the bottom of the thing. I don't know how to get rid of it, so you'll have to persevere with it for the whole podcast.
Yes, boys and girls, do note that he's got the ticker along, like Grumpy Granny told him that he should learn to do that, and I showed him how. So he's done the right thing there. That's very good.
Yes,
I'll give you a tip for that this week.
Yeah, give you some Scooby snacks by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to now. Yeah, so like I mentioned a bit earlier, our YouTube video was very successful in our books. Obviously with our 3 subscribers that we've probably no doubt got Stockholm syndrome. I think that we're halfway decent. We had about 500 views in the first 48 hours of the video, so that's actually eclipsed all our current videos. So since they've been uploaded, so that's actually really good, and we're really appreciative of that. We put it down to probably kidnapping John. Don't know how much he helped, but he was really fantastic, and he actually went above and beyond of what I expected of him.
He did, and I will say John is a fountain of knowledge. He's just got so much knowledge about reselling and how things work, and you can learn a lot off that man.
Yeah, so like before I jumped on the live here, I took John onto the James Boldfine's podcast. His live thing in there. But I just wanted to promote John a bit to the the international market as well. This guy is phenomenal. He's a powerhouse of knowledge. A lot of his content, and this is what we're trying to make our content more generic opposed to Australia specific, so we can actually engage with a lot more viewership and a lot more people, and hopefully obviously reach out and make a few people happy that they're not living in Australia because they have to put up with an octopus and an old lady on YouTube.
Exactly. But we should just warn the people from overseas, because sometimes I think if they're listening to different accents, they're a bit hard to understand. And look, John talks very, very fast, but there's a simple answer to that. Just slow the speed down when you're playing it.
Or just put him on mute and make your own words up. That's what I do. He looks like
you could do that.
He looks like a very hyperactive puppet when he's on mute. So
he does, doesn't he? Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I introduced him to, I suppose, a little bit of the UK market earlier. So because a lot of it, like I said, a lot of his content is traversable. So because he's just a powerhouse of knowledge, and it would be a waste to keep him to ourselves. So by all means, come over and take him.
Yes.
Don't bring him back. We don't want him back though. You can. So we're going to get to what grinding Granny's gears. So what's annoying you this week, Granny?
Now, what did I tell you was annoying me this week?
I don't know. Everything annoys you. Old people.
Everything annoys me. Everything annoys me. But you know what really annoys me is when I'm comping something and I go into the solds and here's something and it's sold and it's like size 16 jeans. That's the title. Size 16 jeans. Size 22 jumper.
So how does that annoy you? Wouldn't that make it easier for you to sell your stuff that's labeled properly?
Possibly, but it annoys me that those things sell.
Well, maybe what annoys the octopus is that old ladies whinging about stuff that actually takes a competitor out of the market. But hey, maybe someone is like just searching jeans size 16.
Well, yeah, they probably are, but I guess I find it frustrating because I put the work in to make sure that I've, filled up as much of my title. I mean, you can put 80 characters in a title, and I try to fill up as much of that as I can with keywords and things. So it just grinds my gears a little bit when I see it, and I just think, put some effort in. Put some effort in.
That's normally where I put my hostage demands are in the title. Buy from me or else, jeans size 16.
And how's that going for you?
It's quite lucrative. Yeah, I've been able to get an eyebrow lift. So obviously one eyebrow is higher than the other. So this time next week, I'm hoping to raise the other eyebrow.
Oh, okay. I'll be taking note of that.
That's right. Well, please don't, because I'll forget to do it. Yeah, so I don't know. So okay, so that obviously annoys you. So I'll contact the CEO of eBay and request that anyone that has jeans size 16 listed to take them out the back.
Yes. Give them a good spanking, I say.
Spanking or
and tell them,
lines, I suppose.
Yes, and tell them that they need to try harder.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as more competition in the market.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's enough of you dribbling about stuff that irritates you. So what do you have for show and tell this week? Considering you're very, very big on this topic.
I was going to choose a different one, but then in the end I decided to go with this. So I'll go back a bit because this is just such great vintage Australiana. It's an acrylic. It's only acrylic. It's an acrylic jumper. And it's on the Mischief label, which I'll get up a little bit closer. Is that good? Can you see that?
Yep.
Mischief label, which is a good vintage label. And they did a lot of knitwear and stuff in the 80s. But that's just real 80s, the sort of thing I would have worn back in the day.
Just think half of our viewership wasn't born then.
I know. Yes. See, that's why it's so easy for me to pick up vintage items, because I can recognise them because I used to wear them.
Damn old people. I wonder if it does smell like old people. Does it smell like old people? I can't smell. Octopus
no, it doesn't smell like old people.
Oh, that's unfortunate. What do you reckon old people smell like? Mothballs or op shops?
I reckon op shops and old people do have a similar smell.
Not really.
Just quietly, but yeah.
So if you walk into someone's house, it's not an op shop. Maybe why I got arrested for burglary. I just thought I walked into an op shop. It's just some old person's house.
I was following the smell.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's exactly right. I could have swore there was an op shop around here somewhere.
Yeah.
So for my show and tell this week, whilst I fix up my tentacles, because I've been sitting on them in the sea, obviously, it goes.
Are you adjusting you're adjusting your tentacles?
Yeah, well, that's right. No, because like when you sit,
Don't look down when you say that.
Oh, that's right. you humans, when you sit on your leg, obviously the blood doesn't run to it. So very similar to my tentacles. All nine of them. Obviously if they get cut off for blood circulation,
no, I
have to worry about that. Anyway, so I do have to do a bit of a show and tell, plus a retraction on what I said a couple of weeks ago about my beloved scam buyer. It doesn't turn out that he was a scammer after all. He was actually just incompetent. So, I'll probably invite him onto this podcast soon enough because obviously he fits right in. So this is what... Oh, I've just whacked myself on the microphone. You can't take me anywhere. So this is what I sold. Hang on. Oh, there we go. So this is basically... Yeah, there he is. It's a Ben 10 figure. It was a heat blast. He's about 10 centimeters or 4 inches high. I picked him up on a Facebook marketplace deal, like a whole bunch of figures, and they sold really quickly and really well. As soon as I put Heat Blast on eBay, some of them from Mexico snapped him up pretty quickly. And just a rehash of what happened is that this buyer accused me of not putting their address on because he didn't think that he needed to put his address on the label. So he just put the street address actually opposed to his house address, so that the Mexican post wouldn't give it to him. So I don't know how that works. Obviously, things are a bit, say backwards, but a bit
weird. Yes,
bit weirder over Mexico. But hey, I won't be invading that country anytime soon. Put it that way.
Yeah, it might be a good place to stay away from, mightn't it, for a while?
Yeah, that's right. Especially if you have to have a house number on your label. Imagine that. Shouldn't the postie know where to go?
Look, really, if you address something to Grumpy Granny in Donald, Victoria, Australia, it will get to me. Like, you wouldn't even have to put the street name on it.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. There's only 3 people in Donald, so I suppose that's probably 1 out of 3 odds of pretty much getting it delivered.
Well, there's 2 extras today, so there's 5 because I've got visitors.
Right. Oh, that's right. You got the visitors over as well, so the odds of being your weekly mail delivery by pigeons probably been hampered a bit because I didn't know what's going on.
Yes.
So what else is new this week, Granny?
Well, how's your eBay going? Because I'm just finding it at the moment behaving very weird. Like what seems to me be the traffic seems to be very weird. Like one day there's very little, and then the next day it goes gangbusters. And I mean, I know it's always a bit of a roller coaster ride, but it does seem to be a bit weird at the moment. I don't know whether they're, fiddling with stuff out the back, like in the, what do they call it? The back end of things.
The AI.
Well, yeah, maybe it is the AI.
Yeah. No, I've been very similar. In one of my stores, I've got a return open, so that's kind of killed that store right off. But in the Octopus account, it's steady. There's no, it's not spectacular and it's not dead. I'm not going to start doing a 6-part YouTube series like the US resellers do every time something like looks at them silly on eBay. But it's not cause for a concern yet. So I've still got enough money in the kitty to fund my world domination aspirations. So
that's good. I'm very pleased to hear that. The one what on earth behind you is that? Am I meant to be looking at that behind your head?
Don't look at John. Don't look at John. Oh, less we talk about John, the better.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was it Figsy? Oh, we forgot about Figsy. Figsy
I think it's Figsy. Yes.
That's right. Figsy's totally alive, and you can check him on his YouTube channel.
Well, if Figsy's on his YouTube channel, it's definitely an AI version, isn't it?
That's right.
From what I can see.
So that's definitely not Figsy there. So don't call the FBI or the Fed police or whatever you got in your country. So I don't know where I'm going. Oh, there we go. So even the AI doesn't know what side the fence it's on. So
yes, no.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So AI's obviously got a little way to come because it doesn't know how to work a mirror camera.
No, it doesn't. It's weird, isn't it?
No, it's a bit strange in that respect. But I think without further ado, we should start. That's another thing US resellers like saying on their YouTube channels. Without further ado, I watched 4 videos this morning.
That's funny. They do say that a lot, don't they?
Yeah, I guarantee, like in the comment section below, if you watch, UK or US resellers, put a tally of how many resellers you know that say without further ado, because I can think of 2 off the top of my head.
I can think of
Nothing wrong with it. Not judging. It's just
an
obviously
interesting,
they're just trying to be more regal and more fancy than us in Australia. So they're just trying to have a competitive edge over us, I think, Granny.
Yeah, well, maybe, because I was going to start comparing what they say at the end. Like, does everybody say the same sort of thing like, Harry Tornado does? Or
I don't know. What's Harry Josh variant say?
Yeah, so he goes, I'll see you on the next one. And he goes, whoosh, like that.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't say anything. We just like awkwardly fumble around for the leave studio button and hope for the best.
Exactly.
That's right. Maybe we need to work on a catchphrase. I reckon I'll roll with you. What catchphrase are you going to roll with?
We need a little tagline, don't we? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to steal. I've been trying to work out how to put it in, but I'm going to go with dominate your death pile.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, that's very good. What am I going to say? I'm going to say... Very simple. I'm going to say, I love reselling.
Oh, really? Geez, we're not going to get very good with that. So obviously our subscriber base is going to drop next week. So,
dear.
Obviously, all right. So we're going to do another hashtag because why not? If you like Granny's boring, like I suppose, parting saying, put down hashtag.
Well, we should.
Granny.
If we did it, we'd have to go. We love reselling, wouldn't we?
No, I don't know. We'll work out what you want to say because I'm going to put a hashtag Granny for whatever the crap that she's talking about, and hashtag Octo for obviously dominate your death pile.
Hashtag Granny's gears.
Stop changing the hashtags. You're going to confuse people. This is what we can't take her anyway. This is why we can't take old people anyway. Can't work with old people. Can't take them anyway. Oh, we got Figsy's been there again. I've just moved back, so you can't see Figsy. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
No, Figsy's not
Poor
there.
Figsy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did have Figsy. We'll give him a bit of a shout out. So he normally runs a podcast of his own about computer games because obviously he's got nothing better to do with his life than other than play PlayStation 3 games. So
hence his nickname is Peter Pan,
right.
the boy who never grew up.
You don't want to tell him there's a PlayStation 5 out now because his mind might blow.
Is there really?
Yeah.
One out.
It's been out for a couple of years, Granny. Keep up with the latest stuff.
Crikey.
You thought in future I'm going to reprogram your AI to be a bit more up with the times, I think.
Well, I think you probably should. But then do I pass off as a real true old person if I don't do much?
Oh, well, that's a valid point. You can't really be a genuine old person without acting like you do. So what's your hashtag? Is it hashtag Granny or Granny Gears? Because I'll
Granny's Gears.
All right, we'll make it something obscure so no one can actually type it. And hashtag Octopus or Octo. Hashtag Octo for mine. Obviously, dominate your death pile. And what was yours again, Granny?
I love reselling.
No, so boring. Anyway, getting on. So we might move into the topic of the week this time. Actually, AI and ChatGPT and generative AI. So basically, long story short, everything's being controlled by AI at the moment. So when you type in something into eBay, so obviously you type into the search bar, they've got an algorithm that actually works out. What was the algorithm name? Was it Kerluck or Ker?
No.
Key thing was Kevlar, but I can't say that on YouTube because it's
no, you can't say that, or you'll get a Vero. It's similar to that, isn't it? We should have written it down.
Yeah, we should have. I did write it somewhere in my notes, but yeah, I can't work it. Oh no, it's Krylov.
That's it. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds a bit Russian to me, but hey, who's complaining? So basically, so ChatGPT.
Speaking of Russian and speaking of ChatGPT, I've got a few crazy friends that are a bit like
I don't believe that.
They're conspiracy theorists, really.
I don't believe that in the slightest.
I think there's a conspiracy in everything. So when I said to them if they had a go at ChatGPT, they just said to me, "Oh, you can't be using that." And I said, "Why not?" And they said, "Because that's the Russians. They use that to get into and find out all your information." So that's what some people think. Yeah.
Or the octopuses. We'll just blame that country. we'll keep the octopuses out of this. All right.
Okay.
We're not using your Chat GPT software to work out what's going on. So yeah, so a lot of eBay is slowly rolling out a Chat GPT interface in their listing. So basically, from what I can gather, is I did a bit of research on e-commerce bytes. That's a reselling website in America, which has some reselling content, kind of articles as well. I did mention that it's rolling out to a couple of the eBay US sellers over there. I'm not too sure if it's widespread enough yet, but it does.
No, by the standard, from what I can gather, it's not all that prevalent yet, but it's on its way.
And that's right. And there's obviously some horror stories, because one that they've got in the e-commerce bytes article is that it's actually rewrote what the seller actually put as a description. It rewrote it for them.
Oh, no, did it?
And they wouldn't let them change it back to what it was previously. So that could cause a concern. So obviously, like eBay previously listened to all of our feedback and changed things back to what there was. So no doubt that will happen. So because eBay looks after us sellers.
Yes, well, we like to think so. We do.
Oh, well, let's just pretend they do.
We always pretend they do.
Oh, that's right. So I suppose, for the purpose of this podcast, we're going to talk a bit about ChatGPT and a bit about the AI imagery that a lot of resellers are doing. So I think that ADH Dave, I think that's what you're inspired these days. He was playing around with some, AI generated pictures for his product. So he takes a photo of the product he was listing and, brings in an artificially created background to that. So, Granny, what's your thoughts on that? Would you be more inclined, or would you be more drawn to listings that look like marketing photos opposed to actual natural?
Yeah, see, I don't. I think that most people, especially when it might be different if you're selling new stuff. It's fine to have that curated, professional looking photo. But for me personally, when it's secondhand stuff, I want to see what it actually looks like. And so I want to see true color. I want to see it, lying on a bit of carpet or lying on a rug, or,
not lying on the beach.
Yeah, not lying on the beach. I want to see the item as it is, so that I know that. Then I know that the seller's given me a true representation of what it looks like.
Okay,
I guess that's the thing. Whereas when you see the AI, that's been photos that have been edited with that, like, you don't know, is that color really that color, or have they brightened it up to look better in a photo?
Yeah. So as much as I hate to agree with you, I will compromise and say I agree in part. I think that the AI photos probably do have a place that obviously if they're making looking at Figsy in the background wherever he is, you could put him in a field or on a beach or something along to that. So he's totally not in the Octo level. You can't blame me. But you also want to add photos of that aren't re-rendered by AI. So you might have to say, hey, look, this is the product in if you're selling a coffee cup, for example. You could add like a kitchen background to see how it would look like in a kitchen environment or something along the lines of that. But you also want photos of the item that disclose flaws and disclose those. I don't think necessarily I'd use the AI photo as the listing photo that that you see as you scroll past. I think that's a little bit dangerous and a little bit misleading, depending on how much it makes it look a lot newer, a lot more shinier than it does. But on the flip side, right? Would that be enough just to get someone to come to your listing?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose, like, it'd be interesting to do a bit of a survey to see what would attract people more, like the realistic image as it is, or something that is highly curated and done with AI. Like, it's a bit hard to. I mean, I know what I would go for, but that's not to say that perhaps someone in the younger generation might actually be more attracted to that AI image.
Well, and I suppose it really comes down to marketing as well, because a lot of the websites you buy products from, or if the generations are moving to an online shopping environment, a lot of those photos are curated anyway. They are really, they're done up, photoshopped, and they're photo roomed and all these different things to make them look presentable. That's part and parcel of potentially what might get you over the line if you've got a lot of boring photos of just the cup sitting in a white background, opposed to something with like a kitchenette setting. Then when you click into the listing and then you have your 4 or 5 photos of the actual cup on a white background, just to say, hey, look, this is what it would look like in your kitchen, or all these different things. And that's something that AI could probably do later on as well. You could actually upload your photo, and say, hey, here's my picture of my wall. Or looking at buying this painting, what will it look like in an eBay listing? So it might be able to, from a buyer's perspective, like they do on eBay in Australia at the moment, is they actually have like My Garage. I think you can put your license plate number in, that brings up all your car parts. You might have areas in eBay later on where you upload certain photos of bedspreads, or you upload photos of your wall and those different things, and that products that cater to that, you can actually use that background and kind of give you an AI simulation of how that product would look in that environment.
How it's going to look in your own home.
So like I said, I can see the benefit of AI, like the imagery, I suppose, from the ChatGPT. It's probably got a little bit to go, and we'll talk about that later.
Look, and I guess for some people too that do struggle with their photography, and can't, and perhaps don't have an area where they can take a good clear photo, without a solid background, I guess. Some of those ones that like there is an app, I do have it on my phone, called Erase Me, and that's good because
if only it was that easy.
I actually, I use it to erase the background so that I can make the images to put on my thumbnails for YouTube. And it's great. You just click on it and it deletes the background. So things like that could be helpful for those people that struggle with their photography. So
because I use a similar product that I'm not going to disclose because they don't give us donuts, so obviously, but it starts with P. And I think that's right. I think it starts with P, and I think a lot of people use this in their room. So I use it to remove the background.
If you work for them, let them know. We'd be happy to give them a shout out if you want to give some sponsorship.
We're easily bought. We know how to do ticking, rolling text now. So what are called tickers? So we can plug everything. So we'll give the Trash to Cash podcast a run for its money on corporate sellouts.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure
we're cheaper. A 6-pack of donuts are $10 from Donut King.
We are.
We will sell it. We'll sell Leanne's soul for a pack of donuts. That's how we roll. But I use that software to remove the background and obviously make the photos shine a lot better. And that all right, let's look at the crux of it. That's AI, right? So basically it's using artificial intelligence to remove the background manually. Automatically, then go from that way. And I've sold a lot of stuff on eBay using that software, and I've not yet had an INAD in regards to that. So I put a little bit of a blurb in there saying, hey, look, this is a product. And if I'm quite an honest octopus, despite the looks. I'll close in on any flaws and make sure I disclose the flaws and all those different things, and put it in the title, the text, the description, all those different things. So, it is drawn to it. However, the photos give you that competitive advantage over someone else that took their photos with a potato, because a lot of people they don't know how to use cameras, let alone I don't know how their breathing is voluntary.
Anyway,
I've got a joke for you, Granny. Just to break the thing. Speaking of people that don't know how to live, why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road?
To get to the idiot's house. Knock, knock.
Don't give up your day job. Who's there?
Knock, knock. The chicken.
That's so bad. That is so bad.
I'm going to be at the Canberra Comedy Festival this weekend. So if you'd like to get tickets, get them now.
Don't go.
That's right. Hey, I've only got the one joke, and you've already heard it. So save your money. Save your money and send us donuts instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, all donuts gratefully accepted.
Don't worry, I'll have to explain to Leanne after the show what the joke was.
Oh dear me.
Yes, I did think that was amusing. But like I was saying, that I do think that
perhaps you could ask ChatGPT for some good jokes.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe that's what we do. We'll do a ChatGPT joke of the week.
Yeah, we could.
Because everyone just tells us how bad we are. We might as well get ChatGPT to give us how good we are.
Yeah, true.
That's right. But
we need the help we can get. So, like, why not?
Well, that's right. Yeah, like we're obviously not attracting enough people to get donuts yet. We're not. It's not raining donuts outside.
No, very sadly. Could I have a donut right now too?
Yeah, we'll actually get one on the way of picking up the squidlings from school. But no, but I think ChatGPT and the photographic side of AI is probably going to but it's going to get to the point where it's going to be like a race to the white backgrounds was not a thing a couple of years ago. Now every man and their dog has a white background. Yeah. So I think it's going to get to the point where it's becoming oversaturated with. You'll have this random pictures like where you're selling a coffee cup and someone will have it floating in space, or something along lines of that, just to make it more obscure. I think it would make it more interesting. And, would that make Google change their search engine to pick up product pictures and all those different things? Because I think that they preference white backgrounds at the moment.
Yeah, they do still. I mean, I think white or a plain color. Like I think grey is quite a good color because it's so neutral. That's okay, but like yes, it does have a preference for a solid background.
Yeah, but going to briefly chatting over ChatGPT, I'm not really sold on that actually. Like from the sense, you could probably use it to to build a listing description, all those different things, but I think you would spend more time trying to work out the nuances, especially as a secondhand reseller. Write me a description for a coffee cup with a crack in the left-hand side. And then it's you just basically, it would be better suited to, just write, coffee cup, white, cracked side, see photos as attached.
Look, honestly, I think when it comes to reselling, especially like if it was again as a new product, that's probably where it would be an advantage in a lot of ways. But reselling, when you are selling a used product that isn't like it was when it came out off the shelf, there are so many little things that you need to cover and you need to say. Like that jumper that I showed you before. Yes, it's still got its mischief tag, but it doesn't have a size tag.
No, that's right.
So there's all those little nuances.
Just write 4XL and hope for the best. Well, maybe that's something that ChatGPT could possibly do. Like, you could, if you didn't have the size tag, for example, you could put the measurements in there, and then it'll say, "Hey, look, on the basis of the measurements that you've given me, this inch range is a small, extra small, large, medium, all those different things." So,
that'd be that would actually be quite handy.
And it could possibly give you like the different sizes across the different countries as well, like UK, US, Australia. So there's always there's pros and cons for all these different things, right? But
that's true.
I do think that you probably need to at least familiarize yourself with them. Like I think you would be very, very, very arrogant, like the octopus, to not at least to research them and see how you could possibly bring them into your thing, because like I said earlier, is that eBay was new once, and I'm sure as hell there's a lot of people that didn't want to jump on the Amazon or the eBay bandwagon because hey, they're happy to sell through the local paper.
Yes.
And look
but things have changed a lot. Like, exactly. And, I think people will get left behind if they don't understand how it works. So even if you don't want to use it per se, you need to probably understand how it works, because if a platform like eBay was to introduce it on a bigger scale, like you may have no choice if you want to keep selling on eBay. So you need to understand how it goes.
Well, that's exactly right. And it will eventually get to the point where the consumers expect it. That they'll see that the ChatGPT or whatever eBay rolls out is the stock standard, and anything that's different to that, they might be like, "Oh, is this a scam, or this is not really what I'm looking for." It just becomes day to day, life, I suppose, for lack of a better term.
I mean, the perfect use for it for me, as I would look at it, I would still want to write my title and my description. But hey, if I could upload a photo of a piece of clothing and the AI works out what all the item specifics are, that'd be good.
I agree with that, but I can guarantee is guarantee you as anything that that platform would run away. That if you get an INAD saying that it wasn't an acrylic jumper or it wasn't a polyester jumper, well, they're like, well, that's on you, Leanne, not us. And it's like, well, your software told me that's what it was. So there's always that catch-22 that they'll bring out all this software, but they don't provide the fail safe to say, hey, well, look, is there overridable fields? Because it's come back as it's saying it's a black jumper and it's clearly white with koalas on it. So
yes, I didn't think of that side of it.
So it's something you need to think of, and obviously, fingers crossed that eBay is rolling it out slowly just to pick up any hiccups that potentially come through. But but no, it's definitely something like that. And I was thinking also, like when I was doing some research, is that you could potentially roll ChatGPT into your sourcing route. I was listening to another podcast in America, Pure Hustle podcast this morning. They're talking about garage sale routes and all those different things. Potentially you could type in your address and tell ChatGPT, find me 15 garage or yard sales in this vicinity and the quickest, most direct route for these. So you can potentially set all these preferences, what you're looking for. Then ChatGPT or another AI program goes through the database and checks out which people are having garage sales, what they've got advertised, and gives you a list and give you a list of garage sales and how the directions and all those different things to it. So like I said,
and so I think if there are things like that people, it might be a one-off thing like that someone uses it and likes to use it and it's a good advantage to them, then it's just that one component of how our AI works. Well, then they're going to like it, and then they're perhaps going to try it on a different form of it.
Well, that's right. And the amount of people that tell me they don't like AI, they don't want to use all these different software, but they're using Google. Was it Google? What's the picture one where you take a picture? Google Lens. Google Lens. Yeah, that's right. So they're happy to use that, but they don't want nothing to do with AI and all these different things. And it's like, well, you're subconsciously using it now. You're just not aware of it.
Yeah, and exactly, because I think that they're thinking of AI in the form of this, intelligent brain that's actually having a conversation with you. Mind you, you can actually have a conversation with ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, I tell you, you spend your lonely nights, isn't it?
I have a little chats with he has a little chats with Grumpy Granny, and that when I go back the next time that he remembers me.
Yeah, well,
I'm the Grumpy Granny who talks to the octopus.
Well, that's right. Yeah, so there's nothing like being a bit lonely so that artificial intelligence remembers who you are. But I suppose that we better wrap things up soon because we're running finite out of time. But I will leave a parting comment in regards to the topic, though, is that I put a message on a Facebook group that I'm in, and our beloved Tekken Sports responded. And I think he said it previously. Yeah, he said it previously in his podcast. I'm aware as well. Is that the first person or the first company to implement AI across the board is going to wipe the floor with resellers. And I think that's something you need to be aware of. Is that you need to have a competitive advantage, regardless of what you think of something or otherwise. You need to basically, what can you do that outshines your competitor? Yeah. So there's no use like griping and whinging and carrying on about it. It's if it's here, and it doesn't take much out of your day to learn how to use it, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. Then go from there. Yeah,
it's amazingly simple to use, really.
That's right. No, that's right. If it's simple for us to use, how easy is it going to be for thrift stores to use?
Oh, absolutely.
So I'll leave it at that comment. But I will. I think we'll leave it there, Granny. But thank you for everyone for watching.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, you're a bit perplexed then. I think she's factory reset. Maybe the AI.
Yeah, well, I was wondering what you were up to there.
Yeah, no, because like I said, we're on a finite time today. Because I got a lot of abusive messages saying, "Hey, look, as much as we love John's bald noggin, please don't let him talk more for an hour." So
yes, I think an hour is a really good. I think that's a good.
Sweet spot.
A good length. Yeah.
So we're going to try and keep it under the 45 to an hour mark. So it's more.
I watched a podcast yesterday that went for over 2 hours.
Oh, well, yeah. We're not going to do that to you. But we might have a guest in future that might like a bit of a chat more so than John. So we do come on. But I think probably not next week, maybe the week after we'll have another hostage, I think. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
She doesn't know who it is, but neither do I at this stage.
Yeah.
I'll have to get the white van out this afternoon and start trawling the streets to see if there's any resellers out.
So run if you see the white van coming for you.
That's right. But thanks again for listening to the 4th episode of what are we? The worst reselling podcast ever. Keep forgetting what we are.
And we're very proud of it.
Yeah, well, one part of us is. So you please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below, because we love those comments. We like reading them. We like replying to them.
We do.
So if I like you, I'll respond to you and be nice. If I don't like you, I'll respond to you and be nice. And Grumpy Granny will, chastise me. So
exactly. And look, please remember, as we said last week, everything we do is all in good fun, all in good jest. And so, don't get insulted by anything that Octo might say. Of course, I wouldn't insult you, but, Octo might. So just, take it on the chin, put on your big girl or your big boy pants and suck it up.
That's right. And if you needed some more nut jokes or some more comedy, let me know and I'll roll out the same joke again.
Yeah, don't, please.
All right, we'll catch you next week. Bye. Oh, and dominate your death pile. Dominate your death pile.
I love reselling. Grumpy Granny's gears.
Bye.